welcome back to my channel. It's me, Chameleon Girl Gina, and today is a do-over for my greens video. Now, I had put it up, I didn't put it up, my daughter put it up and it stayed up for maybe an hour or something, but I hated the video. So I wanted to redo it and, you know, just better quality and stuff for you guys. But anyway, with that being said, how I make my greens is extremely simple. But I always get the compliments like, boy, who taught you how to cook greens? And as a matter of fact, I dated a guy many moons ago who, he was actually from the South. He's from Mississippi. And he told me beforehand that he hated greens. But neither here nor there. When I made those greens, honey, he ate about 2-3 helpings and took some to go. So that's how good your greens will be if you want to follow this recipe. A lot of times greens can be bitter, they can be undercooked, they can be overcooked. So the technique I'm going to show you makes them just right. And also another thing that I don't like about, you know, sometimes when I have had other greens other than mine is when the meat is tough in there. So what I like to do is cook my meat separate, and I think that's the biggest thing that I would say with my recipe. Don't throw your greens in a pot with the meat and think that your meat is going to just fall off the bone tender. It has never worked for me. Somebody's going to comment saying it works for them all the time. Great. Post how you do it. How do you get it tender? Because I can't. Anyway, with that being said, today I'm in a bit of a hurry. So this time, instead of using just a regular pot and putting it on top of the stove, I'm going to be using my pressure cooker. So right now I have it simmering. I don't have any seasonings in there. I just threw in the meat. The type of meat that I like to use is a turkey wing and ham hocks. And you know how with greens you do need some kind of oil in there. So in this I got like 3 ham hocks and I think I got 2 turkey wings. Or 1 turkey wing. 3 ham hocks and 1 turkey wing. So you know how bitter greens can be and stuff like that, and they could have like a little peppery taste, so I don't add any pepper. The seasonings that I like to use in my greens is very basic. I like to, of course, use some bouillon cubes. So right here I have 7 bouillon cubes. If any of you guys have cooked with me or watched my videos before, I like to use Weiler's brand because they just melt down really quick and evenly. Now this is not Weiler's brand, but anyway, needless to say, I'm going to start by adding 6 to that. And the amount of water that you'll use is whatever size your pot is that you're putting your meat into. You're going to go ahead and fill it up halfway. And then when you put your meat in, it's going to fill up a little bit more. The last thing that you want to do is have an abundance of fluid in your greens, because then people have to fish to get a plate of greens. So then the next thing I will do is add probably about 1.5 teaspoons of garlic salt. And then I'm going to go in with Lawry's. And I'm going to add a nice amount of that, probably 2 teaspoons of Lawry's. Because we still have the bouillon, which gives your greens a nice balance and evens out the bitterness. I don't put sugar in my greens to take out the bitterness or anything like that. And then that's all the seasoning for now. So I will go ahead and close my pressure cooker. Then I'll set it to, I want it to cook, just because I'm being a lazy day of cooking and I'm not in a huge hurry, I'm going to cook it for 75 minutes. which will equal out to be 1 hour and 15 minutes. And so it's on the on position, and you know, I feel like I'm telling you guys something you already know. But anyway, with that being said, let that cook down. In the meantime, we'll scoot over here. And this is where I have my greens. And I have a little, these are the pre-cut greens. I have a little bit of baking soda and a little bit of vinegar in there. And then you add in your water. And yeah, these greens say that they're pre-washed, pre-cleaned and everything, but they're absolutely dirty. So anyway, that's what I clean my greens with, that solution. I like bunches of greens. I like bunches of greens better, and the reason why is because they don't have as much of a bite, meaning they're nowhere near as bitter. So with that being said, we're gonna let these cook in the pressure cooker, and then I'm gonna come back, put the greens in a separate pot of water, and go on to combining the meat with the greens. So I'll be right back. Everybody, I'm back. So anyway, here's the outcome of the meat in the seasoned water that now is the base for your greens. So what we do is just pop this open, the pressure cooker, and now in the pressure cooker I cooked it about 75 minutes, which equals 1 hour and 15 minutes. On top of the stove, you're gonna need about 4 to 6 hours, you know, just to cook your meat separately. But in the meantime, I will go ahead and show you guys as I begin to pick it up, get in there. And I will show you, see that just breaks. The meat just breaks. And that's what you want. You want your meat broken down, not big chunks of meat in between your teeth when you're chewing. See? All the meat is just off the bones for the most part. You leave a little bit on there, like for it to just look pretty, because the rest of it's gonna come down. Now, if you guys can remember, when I started the initial pot, it was up higher. So the water, the juices, what happens is that it cooks down, as you guys can see. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to flavor test it. So I'm going to get a clean spoon. I'm going to give all the seasonings a stir. The one thing I forgot that I usually always do is add 1 whole medium to large onion in here with the meat for the greens. And believe it or not, I'm going to have my camera person taste. It's just not, it's not even flavorful enough. So what I will do at this point, I'm recognizing that I need more flavor, but in the meantime, what I want to do is take this part out. You know how it pops out, y'all? The pressure cooker part. And then I'm just gonna walk on over here and pour this onto my, whoa! Did you get burnt? I'm gonna pour that, all that good meat and the juices onto my greens. So then, I just didn't want my daughter to get burned or myself either, but nonetheless, when you look down in that pot, it already looks delicious. So you wanna bring this and make it roar. You want to bring that to a roaring boil. So with that being said, I kind of knew that I wasn't going to have enough seasoning in there. So that's why I left out my seasonings. I'm going to add 1 more bouillon cube to total 7 bouillon cubes into this. It's okay. You can come on and record it. And then I'm going to add some more garlic. Now with greens, you want to be careful. You want to be careful with over salting your greens. So you have to go really step by step on your seasonings. The reason why I say that is because you don't want it the next day. They make the best leftover, like chili, for instance. And you just don't want it to take on such a salty flavor. I'm going to add some accent because I need to bring out the flavor, not in the meat or the juices of the meat, but in the greens by itself. So I'm going to add some of that. Which is about, we're going to say 2 teaspoons, maybe even a tablespoon. I'm going to go and get my spoon. And what you want to do is push your greens on down in there because you want them to cook evenly. And see how there's barely, the water is barely going to cover them because greens, cabbage, and other vegetables make their own juices. So with that being said, we just need a little bit of juice for that much for greens. But these greens, they'll cook down to nothing. You know, my family, they'll be fighting over this because this will make, you know, just enough for us. We get about, it'll make about 8 servings of greens. I did 4 bags, 2 kale, and 2 collard. Kale is always a great way to mix your greens if you like mixed greens. I like them way better than turnips. Mustard is okay, but kale to me is just the most flavor. It is the best. So in the meantime, I'm going to let that finish up, and then I'm going to just come back, show you the outcome, and let you know exactly how long the whole process took, okay? Hey guys, so we're done with the greens. So basically when I went ahead and I combined the meat with the juices from the meat, and then I combined it with the greens, and I let it cook for a couple of hours, and this is how they look now, and they're all done. Now my kids kind of got to the greens, but anyway, I think they look like they're just cooked perfectly in my opinion. That meat is just broken down perfectly, and my kids said that they are superb. So anyway, this is my recipe for greens. Please try it. Let me know what you guys think. I think that you'll love it, and I could probably guarantee that you will. So in the meantime, I wanted to tell you that I would appreciate if you all would like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe my channel. And in the meantime, God bless.